Sometimes we get these divine interventions that could change how we see ourselves and our worth.
What are you doing?
What? You're better than this. Well, clearly not, because I've been putting up with a lot of shit. So what are you gonna do about it? And if we don't immediately act on those moments of clarity, we risk staying stuck forever. And we'll just continue accepting what life hands us, even if it's not what we want.
So you're just going to ignore me?
I was reading this book, Minding My Own Business, when I came across this question. I'll give you time to read it. And when I answered the question truthfully and read what I wrote, it hit me like an imaginary ton of bricks.
Ow! You okay over there?
I realized I was compromising, abandoning, and betraying myself because I felt I needed to stay in a relationship with somebody where I was getting crumbs, where I questioned their reliability, their consistency, their character. So what was going to be my next move? Would I stay in a relationship where I wasn't valued out of loyalty? Nothing was preventing me from leaving, or was there? I had the mindset that I had to stay in a marriage based on vows and guilt. Also because I cared about this person's feelings. What I wasn't realizing is that I was putting his feelings above mine when he clearly wasn't doing the same. Why was that? So let's backtrack on some of the reasons I think I ended up in this situation. There's this thing called fatherless daughter syndrome. Did you know about that? So through a bunch of studies, it was found that having a father figure is really important for a girl. Well, not just a girl, but any child. Because the presence of that father figure is what's going to give them self-esteem and self-confidence. And I also had to ask myself, what were my parents like when they had me? Were they self-aware, emotionally or financially stable, happy in themselves? Did they love themselves? I'm gonna safely say no. The answer is no. You know how we absorb what our mothers eat and drink when we're being formed in their bellies, and even as we breastfeed? It's the same thing that happens with their energy. So here I am absorbing the energy she has as a confused, probably fearful and anxious person. And I'm also sensing these things as I'm being raised by her. And so being raised by one stressed out parent and feeling neglected by another, I always felt like a problem, like a burden. And so as an adult, I would often feel like my opinions and my feelings and my needs weren't welcome, or they were ignored or shut down. So it makes sense that I developed deep insecurities and a lack of self-esteem and self-worth because I felt like I was a problem growing up. And it really made sense that I would walk down the aisle to someone that treated me like a bad cold because that's the type of love I was conditioned to receive. I knew he didn't treat me how I wanted to be treated and how I deserved to be treated. I knew I was settling. I knew a lot. But what I knew and my actions just didn't align. And I've been told that, you seem confident, Candice, you have confidence. But there's a difference between confidence and self-esteem. You can be confident in yourself and your abilities, and at the same time not appreciate and value yourself. So doing those written exercises helped me to look in the mirror and be accountable, because they say people will treat you how you allow them to. I allowed a whole bunch of foolishness because I didn't feel worthy of the love I wanted. I intuitively knew that this was not right, and I was suppressing it because there's a whole lot of inner work that I needed to do. And that's something that a lot of people do. We'll suppress our intuition when our pattern is to get into relationships that fill some type of void, but are very deprived when it comes to being loved and supported. And so much of that inner work I mentioned is learning to tell ourselves the truth. So back to that question that hit me like a ton of bricks.
Ow!
It led to answering more questions that helped me take notice of experiences and thoughts that were contributing to how I saw my value. This book is filled with journaling prompts for self-worth that helped me see what I wanted to change or improve about myself and how I could do that. The fear of starting over was replaced by the courage to move on with my life. Being hard on myself about the mistake I made was replaced by acknowledging that mistakes are a part of life and a part of learning about who I am. And I did make changes to my life. Things that improved how I feel about myself, because I knew that learning to love and care for and accept my physical body would help me to overcome a lot of insecurities that I had. I relearned how to speak to myself and how I describe myself to other people. You hear that? That's the sound of negative self-talk disappearing. I stopped feeling guilty about asking other people for what I want and saying no to what I didn't want. And I started celebrating myself for every little achievement. So if I wake up at 5 a.m. for a week straight, great, new gym clothes, don't mind if I do. If I pass my driving test, yeah, I guess I'll go on a trip. So yes, in the end, I went from a squirmy, slimy little caterpillar wrapped up in a cocoon of insecurity to a beautiful, free-flying butterfly who truly values and loves herself. I feel like Mariah Carey right now. Oh, fly abandonedly. Am I the only person that got a lot of her words, like big vocabulary words from Mariah Carey? Abandonedly? I've never used that word in my life. But anyway, I hope this video gave you some inspiration and encouragement and an idea of how to self-reflect. And if you're in a situation where you're struggling with self-esteem and self-worth, please watch my video on selfishness is not self-care. And I'd love to hear from you, so please comment below and let me know, how did this land for you? And share this video if you feel inspired, or if there's someone you know who you feel could benefit from any part of this video, because when you share, you could be significantly improving someone's life. Subscribe and like this video, it really helps me and keeps me going. And thank you for watching. Until next time.
Set a goal you control and the steps you take them. I try to pick one thought, have some concentration. And if I make a mistake, it's called education. I try to do this every day, call it replication. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.